obviously it's a great win by our guys today. Probably the best thing is that we had a little adversity in the second half. We go from whatever we were up to, it's a 7-point game in the third quarter. That's, something you naturally like to get. You really don't want to see it, but, our guys didn't flinch. Talk to them all the time about just not even looking at the scoreboard. It doesn't matter. And, to be, up 7, only 7 in the third quarter, I thought was a bonus that our guys could actually have to go, okay, what are we going to do? And that's the adversity it's going to happen during the season, whether you're up or down. So it's good to have that in one of your first 2 games. Audition number 2, again, thought defense played outstanding. I think they had 7 yards rushing at the half, 40 yards total for the game. It's a team that rushed for 273 yards against San Jose, a group of 5 football team a week ago. So, outstanding job by our defense, great job by our staff, just game planning and again, stopping the run. And that was what they like to do. Obviously, we had 5 fourth down conversions. Would have liked to have been better than what we were on the fourth downs, but when you play, that kind of team that's going to be risky and go analytics, as we talked on Friday, I thought it was a good job by our defense. We got to get better. A lot of things we can get better at. Offensively, Eli played really good, completed 75% of his passes. One critical error at the end of the half, which we use our timeouts. I should have let the clock run out if I knew we were going to turn it over. Obviously, not happy with that one. Neither is he. Just can't have it. So another turnover in game 2. So we're -2. The turnover ratio in the country and not where we want to be. We got to get turnovers on defense, which we haven't had a chance to be better there. And then special teams. I thought again we had another good day, not as explosive as we wanted to be, based on a couple penalties that were thrown out there, a couple yellow flags that were thrown on the ground, which not happy with that. So we'll look at the videotape and see what they look like, but we still showed that we are explosive. Kenny takes one out to the 50 on a kickoff return, I believe. So all in all, good showing versus a good football team. Obviously, competition was better than it was last week. They will win. They will win. 6, 7 games in the Mid-American Conference. I can tell you that. It's a good football team, well coached. Matt does a great job. So I'm just happy for our kids, and we get to move on to Morgantown. Looking forward to that game on the road, our first road opportunity. So be exciting down there next weekend. Questions?
Pat, you mentioned penalties. What was the difference between a really clean game last week and some of the errors?
You know what? Again, we'll look at the videotape. I'm not sure what happened with Jesse's first penalty. I'm looking at, Abe Ebram had one on Dez's big return. Didn't like that one. We have a third down conversion. Or maybe it was fourth down. I think it was third down with Eli on a scramble, and it's actually it was a run. And I thought it was a pancake block by Lyndon Cooper. He had hands inside and just pounded the guy on the ground. So I don't know. We'll look at the videotape. I don't know how to catch it. Blue had a penalty out on the edge on a big, a big pass bubble screen out there. So we'll see where his hands were. But little details like that, we got to clean that up. We can't have ourselves moving backwards. And I think that was, nothing good. Did I name every penalty? Those are the big ones that I can remember offhand.
You lost time of possession like 36 minutes to like 23:08.
Today?
Yeah.
We won it at halftime. At halftime, I think it was 16 or 13 or something like that. Give or take a few seconds there. But time possession, we lost it last week. It's about who puts the points up on the board. Obviously, I told our guys, in the second half, it was Gatorade go, 2 plays, touchdown. I mean, nobody's gonna complain about that. I'm not worried about time possession. They worry about time possession. I'm not worried about time possession. I'm worried about points and what that scoreboard looks like at the end.
Is that how you want the offense to operate? Like ideally, all those scoring drives were under 3 minutes, I think.
Yeah. If they had 8 minutes, as long as we score, I don't care. I'm not gonna tell Kate to slow it down, score slowly. But being explosive on offense is critical for us. And I'm not worried about the time possession. We lost it a week ago. I mean, can you imagine we lost it a week ago? He scored 61 points or whatever the heck it was. We talk about critical things to winning, and turnovers are obviously number one. You can't turn the ball over, and we haven't won that in 2 weeks. So we got to play clean ball to go on the road and win. And but time possession is the last thing that we talk about as far as critical to winning goes. It doesn't really matter.
Now we've seen a lot of different receivers over the first couple of games have catches. Poppy had 5 today. What stood out to you about his game today and what he's done?
Yeah, Poppy, I've been impressed with Poppy. One of the things going into the offseason was Poppy, hey, just don't catch and fall down. It's got to be yards after the catch. he's done a great job the last 2 weeks. He's explosive. He runs good routes. He gets open and gives Kate an opportunity to throw it to him. So Poppy's been really good all camp. Really been impressed with Poppy. But Kenny Johnson was outstanding. Blue got the chance to make some plays with his feet on the one time early, I think in the second quarter. We got weapons out there. Zion had a catch, which was good. I think he had one. I didn't have him counted up. Deuce had another nice catch. So we've got weapons out there. And again, it's not just throwing it to one guy. It's throwing it to who's open and where you're supposed to throw it.
To your point about facing some adversity in the second half, after they pulled to within 7 in the third, your offense comes out, gets a quick touchdown. How pleased were you with how the offense continued to just keep their foot on the gas, and then defensively to not allow any more scoring after that point?
Yeah, I mean, that 15-yard drive or 14-yard drive before the half hurt. But that was a 2-play drive, I believe. So no doubt, again, being down, it's the adversity we talk about. And sometimes you don't see those until you get into a Power 4, ACC game, whatever it may be. So I've been impressed just with how they just, put their head down and go to work the next series and not worry about what happened the last play.
Pat, Shadarian Harrison got the start today and finished with 9 tackles, 6 of which were solo. I know he was the Conway Award winner in the spring, but what did you see from him today that really stood out?
Yeah, I'll have to watch the tape to really see, but he was grumpy after the game too, so I like that. Like, he's probably mad at something, whether it was catch a third down or whatever it is, but he just keeps working. I've been impressed with him. We actually played the whole game mostly with our backup corners the whole game. That won't happen next week, but even as I won't talk injuries, but Drip and Sean Lee, they both were out there, versus a different offense that they hadn't seen all summer camp, all August. So I was impressed with those guys. We're getting some depth at corner, guys you can trust, and that was something impressive.
You guys had 11 tackles for loss. Sometimes when you get a big number like that, there might be one guy with 4 or 5. I think you had 10 different players record a half tackle for loss or a whole tackle for loss. Did you like how, it seemed like the whole defense was able to get in the backfield and make the plays today? Yeah,
we were more aggressive up front, whether it's blitzing or playing base, and there was havoc off the edge. Carruthers was outstanding today. So it's just good to see. Again, it's not built around one guy. I think we had 4 sacks with those TFLs as well. So it's just being aggressive, and I was impressed with the way our defense played today. Bates and Madelac and Corey Sanders and Archie and Tim Dowse did a great job, game planning, and I thought the game planning, both sides of the ball. Offensively did a great job game planning as well. I don't know how many series we didn't get points, but if we did, it was because of us.
What has Zach done off season and then into the regular season that has allowed him to kind of seize this opportunity to play so well?
Zach has come a long way. Zach has come a long, long way. And I told him after the game, like, hey, a little bit different from when your back was sore in camp, and a year ago, his back hurt, and he got that right, worked out. Coach Stack's done an unbelievable job of stretching him out, making sure. A year ago, there was times when he was crying because his back hurt so bad, and to see where he's come, and that's development, in the weight room, in the training room, recovery, and just knowing who you are, what your body's like. But I couldn't be happy with Zach Carruthers, a football player, and he's just going to keep getting better.
On Thursday, we talked a lot about 4th down analytics. You had an opportunity on that second drive, 4th and 1, short distance, but why throw there instead of run?
Hey, I don't want to be 100% run, on 4th down. We took a shot, we had a guy open, we missed him. But you go back and watch that 4th and 1, we had a shot, and I knew Cade was going for it. Like, what are they expecting you to run the ball? And we did, we want to mix it up. I don't want to look at our, self-scout, we call it self-scout, and see that we're 100% run on 3rd and 1, 100% run on 4th and 1. So people got to know that we're going to take a shot so they don't load the box. And so I like the call. I like it to be completed. We had what we wanted. We had man coverage, and we had a guy open. I think Poppy was open on that play, but we just got to find him. So that risk reward.
Couple more.
What did you think about Altman and Holmes getting their first touchdowns today?
It was fun to watch those guys. Max had a nice catch. We had 3 tight ends. Obviously, Jake didn't go today. But Justin Holmes is a starter. I'm not sure if Malachi got much action. Did he get much action? I didn't pay attention. But Malachi will be ready to roll next week and be 100% healthy. But Holmes came in and took it over. And then Altman comes in and gets a touchdown pass. It was impressive. If I was a tight end, I'd want to come play in this offense. I'll just say it like that. But no, it was good to see Altman and Holmes get involved, and Eli obviously get it to his tight end and get it to who he's supposed to get it on those plays.
much does one field goal being made by Bukowski from a little bit more distance, how much does that one field goal just increase your trust that you have in him moving forward?
You know, every field goal, every extra point, those are all critical for a young guy. The guy doesn't flinch either. I mean, he doesn't. It's impressive for a true freshman to come in and do what he's done so far. Knock on wood. Now we got to take him on the road and see what he's got down in Morgantown. But I've been impressed with him. He's just like this. I mean, there's no ups and downs with him at all. I mean, he's steady, and that's what I love about him. There's no, getting too high or getting too low. I mean, he does things the right way. I love how he prepares. Good. Good.